Good morning. It is launch day, and we are live from the Launch Crate Publishing office. And I am really, really excited for this work. We have, when you think about um, books that are launching, and even think about spaceships that are launching through NASA. Sometimes they have the countdown and there's something that delays the launch. We had that quite a few times with this book. But every time it was delayed, the book kept improving and improving and improving. And it was not prepared to launch until it was ready for launch. And today is that day. This is launch day for all the possibilities. I am Cynthia Fales, the founder of Launch Crate Publishing, and I am super, super duper excited to introduce the author of this wonderful, wonderful book, Dr. G. How are you today?
Thank you, Cynthia.
How you feeling?
Good. I'm excited. I'm
Yeah.
happy. This was the right day to do it, even though it's raining. It's not going to rain on my parade.
Absolutely not. That's a great metaphor for this, right? Consequently, I will say the storms look like they might be a little bit heavy in Kansas City. So if we disappear, the storms probably got us. So just know that in advance. But definitely not going to rain on our parade today. This is a good time to celebrate the launch of your first children's book.
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So how are you really feeling?
I feel like I'm in a dream.
Yeah.
I honestly feel like I'm in a dream because I've had this dream since I was 6 years old.
Yeah.
And so to be here today is, there's just no words.
Yeah.
There's just no words.
Well, there will be some words.
There will be some words, but
there will be some words and words between all of us. I want to make sure that everybody has the chance to chat with us today. So if you haven't done so already, make sure that you tap in and say hello. We already have some people checking in from LinkedIn. Emily Colbank said, woohoo, way to go, Dr. G.
Thanks, Emily.
Susan Engelman says, so excited for you, Dr. G.
Thank you, Susan.
I'm excited as well. We've got somebody tapping in from YouTube.
My dad.
This is pretty awesome. It's pretty awesome. As we go, you all, if you have questions, make sure that you drop those in the chat for us so that we can ask those as well. My goodness, Dr. G, this is going to be a good morning.
Yeah. I feel it. I feel
Can
it.
You feel it?
Yes.
I can definitely feel it. I can definitely feel it. We've got more congratulations pouring in for what is a phenomenal accomplishment.
My sister.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Now that emotions are coming.
It's okay. Let them flow. Let them flow.
Thank you.
Yeah. These are they're good tears, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Explain what you're feeling right now.
Overwhelmed. I couldn't have made it to this point without so many of you who are chiming in.
Yeah.
My husband. I just wouldn't have made it to this point without all of your support and your love and your belief in me. And Cynthia, for you giving me the opportunity and opening that door. I believe so much in giving people and the students in my community opportunities. And so to be given one, I don't take it lightly. I am so grateful for it. Yeah. So I'm just filled with gratitude and feeling like, I crossed this finish line of trying to meet this dream amidst all the craziness of life.
Yeah.
Just I hope it's a message to everyone too, just to never give up on your dreams. Usually when there's a will, there's a way.
Absolutely. And delayed is not denied, right?
Yes, exactly. That is wisdom there.
Yeah. I love it. Well, tell us a little bit about you before we dive into the book. The book has a phenomenal story.
Yes.
And we'll get to that, but introduce them to Dr. G.
Yes. So I am a proud product of my community. I was raised in Wyandotte County, Kansas, in the wonderful neighborhood Argentine. And I am also a proud product of both of my parents, Marianne and Roger Villanueva, who were first generation college graduates themselves,
Mhm.
and they they gave us the best childhood possible. We lived in a very tiny home, and it didn't matter. We had a home filled with love,
Yeah.
and they invested so much into us, sacrificed so much into us, and you know, we looked up to them so much, because they truly are, were and are everyday heroes, just saving people's lives literally in the healthcare fields and law enforcement. And
Mhm.
so it just was an inspiration for me, to want to help people.
Yeah.
And I didn't know it would be through education, but it is through education, and I'm so grateful for that. And yeah, my mom, she did pass away about 6 years ago from lung cancer, and so it just has been a wild experience, and a lot to go through. But I know that her spirit is here,
Mhm.
and um, you know, she pushed me through, still finishing my doctorate degree, because
Yeah.
that was all happening in the midst of being in that program. And also now just you know, I just see life in a whole different perspective. And
Yeah.
so when I said, I need to fulfill this dream,
Yeah.
I didn't give up on it so easily this time.
Yeah. Well, there we go. Delayed is not denied.
Exactly.
There it is. This is kind of the theme that's running with us today, isn't it? Yeah. So, Candace, tell us a little bit about the work that you're doing now. So, you mentioned that it's
Mhm.
in education, but it's a very specific niche within education.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, I actually used to work at a community college for about 6 years. And that's where I realized that I love working in education, wanted to help others in education, and even just help. I saw the barriers, as well, and
Hmm.
I wanted to help, you know, break those down. And then I learned about the organization I'm with now, Prep KC. We're a small education nonprofit, but doing really great work in the community, helping to close those opportunity gaps. And my wheelhouse is everything early college and career experiences, making sure that students as young as elementary ages get exposed to all the world of careers and colleges. And just for me personally, that's been a passion of mine, because I was very fortunate to have the opportunity to go on my own college visit when I was in fifth grade,
Yeah.
to the University of Notre Dame. And we'll bring him on here soon, but
Should we
and
do it
dive
now?
deeper into that. Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
But Sean McDade was my teacher in fifth grade. So to just come full circle here and to have you on here, Sean, you were a teacher who just impacted me so much at such a young age, in the most positive way. And having that experience to go on that college visit reminded me so much that anything is possible, and that I want others to know that everything is possible as well. So I remember that experience vividly to this day. So thank you for going above and beyond at that time in our lives, to be able to have that experience.
Thank you, Dr. G. Uh, uh, can you guys hear me? Because I am calling in from Canada. I'm Canadian, but at that time, I was also a graduate student at the University of Notre Dame, and I was teaching in Kansas City, and you were in my second class. Um, but thumbs up, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we've got you.
Perfect. Okay, great. So first off, Dr. G, I just want to say how proud I am of you. This is an amazing, amazing accomplishment. Not to mention that just a couple years ago, you finished and defended your doctorate. And again, that is an amazing inspiration. So congratulations. But just a little bit about that experience. I first, and I hope that I don't embarrass you, Dr. G, wanted to say that as a student, you were a sparkle of hope.
Oh.
And I can just remember your kindness in the classroom, your constant curiosity, and how you always looked out for others. And you could always see a friendly smile, but you are also very skillful at advocating for others. And so I always just really saw you as that sparkle of hope. And it's always brought me great joy to see students that are really hope ambassadors. And when I think about the book, and when you shared the book with me, the first thing that I thought was like, it was so you, right? Like there's nothing in the book that's really about you per se, but it's a platform to inspire others and to inspire that anything's possible. And to try to open up that door and window for others is a testament to your character. So I really want to thank you for that, because I'm now in a role where I'm a superintendent of schools, and there's a real lack of resources in this area. And when you think that students, one of the things I've learned over 25 years of being an educator is that when a child walks through a classroom door, they truly don't know how many gifts from God that they have. And it takes a whole community to showcase that those gifts are deep inside and that they're meant to be shared with the world. And I just think that this book is an amazing example of that. And we need more of this in our schools. So thank you. But it's so wonderful to be here and to share this moment with you.
Thank you, Sean. I'm speechless. I'm just so grateful, after all of these years that we could reconnect and be able to take part in this together. It truly is meaningful for me. So I just truly appreciate your willingness to do this. Thank you.
Oh, that's great. I just remember all the laughter on the trip, and the big eyes, people seeing, the big buildings. But most importantly, it was about the seeds that got planted. And this is just really incredible. And it shows what can happen when an educator invests in a child and shows that child that there are gifts and endless possibilities. And so the true inspiration is seeing you do this work now. Yeah, congratulations.
Thank you.
It sounds to me like a seed was planted and then it sprouted into all of these other seeds now that can be planted elsewhere with the book that you've written.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love that. Yes.
I love it. We're building a forest. I absolutely love it. So it's really great to not only hear about the book from your perspective, but from someone who's doing the work that this book would serve, right? Mm-hmm. To hear it from Sean, who not only got to see you grow up when you were younger, but who is still doing the work, who is still out there impacting children's lives day in and day out.
Yes.
That to me is a testament to what you poured into the book and what others will get out of the book, that's all that you can hope for as an author, right?
Thank you.
Yeah.
And I mean, to your point, Sean, like you said, I just also wasn't finding many resources within this topic for students at, upper elementary ages. And so I just really felt like there needed to be something to help fill that gap. And I just really appreciate that you also believe in the importance of giving students the opportunities to explore colleges and career paths, and that it's never too early. It's actually really important to start that early.
Yeah, I think it's about the power of mindset. Like when anyone believes that they are capable and that they are worthy, only great things can happen when that recipe is in play.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree 100%. 100%. That's phenomenal. Well, how are you feeling right now?
I'm feeling good.
Yeah, good.
This is a topic that I love, so I could go on forever.
So give us a little bit of an overview of the book. We've talked about the ripples that it can make, but they don't necessarily know what the book is about yet.
Yeah, exactly. So I wanted to really, talk about all of the possibilities. That title, I wanted it to encompass all post-secondary education, not just the traditional college path, but also all of these amazing other education paths you can pursue after high school, whether that's apprenticeships, going into the military, completing industry recognized credentials, building your own business. I wanted it to be an introduction to all of those different paths. So it's really intended to be a conversation starter. It is intentionally an easy reader to make sure that it is getting students comfortable with learning about these bigger topics, as well as making sure it's accessible to students who have different reading levels at this age, as well as students who speak multiple beautiful languages. And so it's just written in a way that it can be accessible. And also just trying to, throughout the book, kind of scaffolding some of that learning. So getting them excited about their futures, talking about some of the bigger path options, traditional college and workforce education, and then kind of getting them thinking about some of those intangible skills that they would need, like teamwork. And then we dive deeper into more of those specific education paths. So I want them to hang in with me throughout the whole book.
Yeah.
We also created a glossary as well as a website that people with the book can use the QR code to have exclusive access to that webpage. That gives them resources to dive deeper into these different paths, or, just people learn differently as well. So maybe the videos speak more to you. And there will also be bilingual videos in Spanish to try to reach more audiences as well.
Yeah.
Because I think understanding these pathways needs to, reach all communities. And so that's how the book was designed, intended. And even if, I wanted to be in classrooms, but also in homes. And I wanted to give parents an opportunity to kind of get their kids excited about this at an early age, have conversations, and even just help people get out of the mindset that it's not just going to a big 4-year university. It's all of these other paths that you can take and be successful and be excited about.
All the possibilities.
All the possibilities.
So, Sean, when you hear about all of the intention that went into this book, what's coming up for you?
Well, like I said earlier, like it just is a beautiful reflection of Dr. G and how she's always put others first. I saw that in the classroom when she was a child. So this is like a blueprint to help families navigate a really challenging system.
Yeah.
And that's because Dr. G sees that there's a gap and that that navigation can be really challenging. So the earlier we start with families, understanding all the different pathways to adulthood, to where you can be a full member of a community where you belong, it does start early. And so I think starting that conversation in classrooms, starting it in homes, and making it accessible for all people, that's the difference maker right there. And I'm just so excited about a resource that can help so many people. Because right now, there's a 10-year-old out there or 12-year-old out there, and they're just discovering what their gifts are from God. And they're going to need a whole community that can help them. And so this is an important piece of the puzzle, these kinds of resources that can help put the picture together.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
Speaking of pictures.
Yes.
That was a great laugh there. Yeah, this is the content of the book is phenomenal. I love the intention behind it. I love what people have the potential to get out of it. And the illustrations brought this book to life in an entirely different way. And when you and I were chit-chatting about this book and your intention for it, I'm all in, right? You know my history
Yes.
in education and my history in college prep and in access to opportunities and now in publishing. And it just felt like a really good alignment for the work that I was doing, the work that you're doing, and a way to amplify that, right? But I don't think that just the two of us alone could have made this book as phenomenal as it is. And the illustrations that are in there really bring it to life in an entirely new way. So should we bring our illustrator in on this? Okay, let's add Beck Munoz to the conversation. Hi, Beck. How are you?
Hi.
How are you?
Oh, I'm good. I'm flattered. All the compliments.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go right in the face.
Well, I'll let you two chit chat about how your combo came to be, right?
Yes.
Yeah, this is a great collaboration.
Yes, it was, I would say, definitely fate that brought us together. I found Beck and I saw her experience working at a community college, as well as having her degree in graphic design, as well as being Latina. All of that. I was just like, she is going to be perfect for this. And so I reached out and I was just so over the moon when she responded and found interest and had the capacity to help with this project. It was, really cool and important for me to have awesome women of color on this project. So that representation was important for me.
Yeah.
Just Beck, you just knocked it out of the park with everything. And anything that, I was giving ideas for, you were able to brainstorm with me and help me, really understand what children are looking for, and just your experience with having that understanding was important, because I was just going off track with things. So you kept me on the right path with making sure these were illustrations that made sense to children, were exciting for children, had the representation we wanted to capture for children in our diverse communities, and just getting trying to create post-secondary paths, trying to illustrate that is a huge challenge. So you took on a huge challenge, knocked it out of the park. So I mean, just overall,
very abstract concepts.
Yes.
That are not as abstract. No.
These kids are gonna get it, and they did. So I mean, when I took it to children in the classroom, they just loved how vivid, how I brought it to life. And I mean, they could name these careers. They asked more questions about all these careers that we have shown. So I mean, they loved seeing my son. I showed him the images, and he's 2 years old. And he said, "Oh, that's me." And he pointed, because, he's inspired by one of them. And then he looked at the construction images that we had, and he said, "Oh, that's an excavator." And I was like, that was so cute. So, I mean, he really loved the images.
Good. I'm glad. It was a really fun project. And yeah, it was a really exciting challenge to take a concept as broad as secondary education and, okay, how can we narrow this down into something that a smaller child who might have a limited vision of what education is, to get them to understand these concepts just by looking at a picture. Even if somebody is reading it to them, they can stay engaged. And honestly, though, the kids, you gave me an amazing template to work with your vision and everything you had in mind, your creativity. It was a wonderful collaborative process. I absolutely enjoyed it. And those kids, I loved drawing them. I miss them. I miss drawing those guys. They were cute. But yeah, it was so much fun. It was a wonderful exercise and an opportunity for me And so I was really excited about it. Oh my gosh, there they are.
Bring it a little closer to the
Can you
camera
see it?
there.
Where's the
Right
camera?
there.
There we go.
That way people can see. Yeah.
Yes, there
Okay,
they are.
I loved
Yeah.
how inclusive you wanted to make this group of kids, that there was someone that everybody should be able to lock in on and identify with, because that's such an important thing. And like when I was a kid, I absolutely loved books. Like my nickname was Matilda from because I was always reading. And it was always so great when you could, take a book or that has a concept you've never thought of before, and you can see yourself in the pictures. And so I loved your mission statement with this book. As somebody who's worked at community colleges and with Trio, like it was an absolute dream come true to do this project with you, and you were a dream come true partner to work with on it.
Well, Beck, I'm curious. Can you tell us a little bit about your journey into illustration?
Yeah, sure. Well, like I said, when I was a kid, my nickname was Matilda. I was always reading books, but I was also always drawing. And so it's kind of been a really long road just leading to this career. Like, I'm like, oh, it started right at the beginning. But it took some twists and turns to get there, to realize that that's what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
But I actually went on instead for a career in acting. And so I did that. And where I learned like the importance of communication, of just visual communication without words. And so like I learned to apply that to my art. But I actually went back to school in my 30s, which was intimidating, to get my graphic design degree, because I realized that I have stories I want to tell, and I want to help other people tell their stories. And so, I've just always been drawing. I love it. I have boxes full of drawings of just random things. So it's my passion.
Yeah.
But yeah, when I graduated, I was like, okay, great. Now I graduated. Now I've got to get it. Now I've actually got to find somebody who has a story that needs illustrations.
Yeah.
And like, I was applying to all these places, and it was about a year in, and I was like, oh, I'm starting to worry this is never going to come true. And then out of nowhere, Dr. G just reached out to me, and it was just perfect. It was just a match made in heaven. I was just like, oh my God, this is meant to be. And it was perfect. And so, this is like my first book I've illustrated. And I'm so excited for that it was something like this, that is actually going to be a conversation starter and help kids pursue a further education, because that's something really important to me. I'm also a substitute teacher. And so I do middle school and high school. So I'm just like, it's like this is so important for them to have this access to, so they can ask the questions, so they can look into it more. And so, yeah, this was just such a perfect project to work on.
This is like the dream team.
Oh my gosh, it is. I'm like, this truly is fate, just the way it all came to be. God.
I'm excited for your second and third books together.
Agree. Go ahead and plant those seeds.
Yeah.
You do that so well. You do that so well.
Yes, he does.
Well, there were some comments that came in that I want to
Okay.
make sure that we share.
Yes.
Dr.
My
G
goodness.
for president.
Yes.
I
Author.
I don't know if you saw it or not. Prep KC has tapped in.
Nice. Thanks, everyone.
Beth McCarthy said, I love how your own elementary college visit inspired you to get where you are today. And now you cultivate those inspirations in thousands of young people today. Thousands.
Beth is awesome.
Thousands.
She is my supervisor,
Yeah.
and she has helped me grow so much.
Yeah.
She's been an amazing mentor. I don't know what I would do without her, so she can't go anywhere.
Oh, no. Well, she also had a question for you.
Okay.
Dr. G, you mentioned you wanted to write a book since you were a child. How did you know that you wanted to be an author? And what advice would you give to others who aspire to be an author?
Yeah, that's an awesome question. So I did want to share a fun story that when I was about 6 years old, I was writing a story on my dad's computer paper with my own illustrations, very short sentences. It was about a girl and her flower. And my dad, he had took my pages and he put them between two pieces of cardboard and stapled it to be like binding. And he bound my first book. And at that age, I was just like, oh my gosh, I made a book. And so he really, that planted a seed of just he nurtured my writing and he made it feel real. And it made me want to pursue something like that. I've always loved writing. I wrote poetry as a kid. And I even asked my elementary librarian, how do you publish a book? And, obviously as a kid, I think that just the process sounded very abstract and cumbersome. And then you kind of just go on with your life.
Yeah.
I didn't know anyone in my family who had published a book. So, it just seemed like a fun dream that just isn't really possible.
Yeah.
But it is. And I, when I started to say, hey, it can be, I knew that I didn't want to walk this journey alone. So I really appreciate you walking this with me. And I will say, if you are aspiring to be an author, don't give up on that dream. Definitely look into resources. I was part of a national writers group to try and figure out some of these resources and understand what's going on in the children's book market and how to navigate some of that. So I really just this time said, let's do some research on this. Let's figure out what is your niche, what is something you're passionate about. I just so happen to find a need that I feel well versed in and also wanted to fulfill a dream at the same time. So just really practicing your writing and thinking about what would you want that to look like? And it is a teamwork effort. So reaching out to those in your network to help make those happen. So
awesome. Very cool. There's another question that came in.
Ooh, that's a good question.
I'm going to break that into two things.
Okay.
So the question is, what's your favorite part of the book? I'm going to ask favorite part of the book and also favorite illustration in the book.
What if it's the same thing?
It's okay if it's the same.
Yes. So I know exactly. I was actually going to bookmark it before this.
Let's see if it's the one that I think it is.
I mean, it's hard to pick a favorite illustration because they are just all so amazing.
They're phenomenal.
Let's see.
Beck, do you have an idea of which one it is?
Can you take a guess? You might.
I feel like there's two that I think it might be. I know you really liked the lemonade stand, but you also really liked the library. I think those were the two that I feel like you talked about a lot.
I think you nailed it.
You nailed it. I love this library image. Such an awesome spread.
Yeah. Hold on, let me make this bigger so they can see it there. Yeah.
So this piece of the book, this part of the book is about those intangible skills that I mentioned before getting into the specific pathways. And so I just wanted to include in there, you need to be able to work as a team. And that's what the kids are doing in here, is working as a team to reach their bright future, which is the book that this character, inspired by my daughter, Mariana, she's quite short. So she needs some help to reach that book. And they're working together. And if you see a friend in need, it's good to be there for them too. So as much as it's a journey about yourself and who you are, it's also about helping others too.
Yeah.
And I think I will just also say, because this is at the beginning of the book. So I love this map here that you illustrated, because I just, our futures, the education we pursue, and just like you shared your own story, Beck, it's not a straight path. It's a windy path. And so I just want students to feel comfortable with that and at least kind of know, like, where do they want to start when they leave high school? That's going to help lead to incredible paths later. So I just love that. And I hope it, helps them realize that.
Yeah. I'm going to answer that as well.
Oh, okay.
There's a part at the end
Okay.
where you mention staying open to the possibilities, because what you start to pursue may change and shift as you get older. And I love having that included in there because you just never know, right? I started in education and now I'm in publishing. And did I see that coming for myself? Maybe a little bit, but definitely not owning a publishing company. But here we are. And all of the things that I did before this all work together to prepare me for this and the work that I'm doing now. And who knows what I'll be doing in the future, right? So I love that you've included that in there, because it gives people permission to change. And I feel like that's something that we don't always give ourselves permission to do. So I love that you included that in there.
And Cynthia, that's where I really like that concept of finding and looking for sparkles of hope.
Yeah.
And, I sometimes think about in a world where mental health is a common theme and we're working really hard as a community to support each other. But ultimately, if we can all lean in and help everyone know that there is a path forward, no matter where you are today, young or old, there are steps you can take tomorrow. And so that's one of those hope themes that I always cling to. And I could see in Candace's writing.
Absolutely.
I mean, Dr. G.
Dr. G. Dr. G.
I'm trying not to call you Mr. McDade. So
we're strengthening the muscles.
It's a new thing for us too.
Emily tapped in. She said, amazing that Beck is starting and redefining a career in graphic design with a book about discovering careers. Love that so much. Oh, wait. Okay. There we go. Looks like she modified it. Okay. Love that so much. Love that so much. Beth said, I agree that is such a powerful story for students to understand that your path will change many times through your career that you may have never expected. Yeah. I love that so much. Candace. Dr. G, strengthening the muscle. I'm strengthening the muscle. Dr. G, tell us a little bit about what you hope this book does beyond Kansas City, beyond your network. When people hear about this book, when they check out the video on replay, what do you hope they take away from this conversation and from the book that you've created?
Just how impactful it can be for children at this age just to have hope for their futures.
Yeah.
And fostering that curiosity.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about y'all. I think this book will do that. Sean, what do you think?
Cynthia, I'm hoping I can ask one more question of Dr. G, because I was in awe when she was sharing her own research and her dissertation. And it's like some of the comments that she shared with me, I think, need to be shared in this space, because I think it's a great reason why superintendents or principals need to put this book in their schools.
Yeah.
So absolutely. I wonder, Dr. G, if you can just make a connection to your doctorate dissertation and this book, because I really do believe that if people understand the research, they are going to go out and buy this book and put it in their school libraries and in their classroom libraries.
Thank you. Yes. So there is limited research about the impact on college and career exposure and students taking part in those opportunities early on in elementary school and middle school. and just what it means for them later on in high school. So, same thing with the book, not much literature around post-secondary education at these ages. And so my research did find that the more experiences that students have at that age, they can have higher GPAs in high school and better attendance, which those are, on-track indicators for graduating from high school. So I was really grateful for the opportunity to contribute to such limited research, and now have the opportunity to, have more, I hope that more classroom libraries and libraries at home have more information in a fun, engaging way that gets students thinking about their futures too. Thank you.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Thank you.
Any final thoughts, Dr. G?
I am just so grateful to have reached this milestone. It would not have been possible without you, Sean, planting that seed. It would not have been possible without you, Beck, creating these beautiful illustrations. It would not have been possible without you, Cynthia, giving me the opportunity to publish and become a children's book author. And my community, I thank you, because I would not be where I'm at today without your support and investment. And my parents, forever grateful for you, more than words can describe. My sister, thank you for always having my back in everything. When I think of you, this is why the tears come. My husband, for supporting me through my doctorate program, which I finished that about 3 years ago, and then started this on top of being in a leadership program. So he's always, supported me as well through a lot while having children. And my 2 babies, Tommy and Mariana, you inspire me. You are my strength. You are my courage. And this all means more to me than I can express. And to my colleagues at Prep KC, thank you for your support in all of this. And to all of my beta readers, thank you for your feedback on this book and taking the time to give me your candid feedback. I was really intentional about who could give me feedback on this book. I wanted multiple perspectives. I wanted people in education. I wanted kids. I wanted people not only with college degrees, but also in the workforce to give me that perspective, to do those other pieces about workforce education, justice. And so I was really intentional about making sure I was getting the right feedback to make this book the best it can possibly be. So a lot of blood, sweat, and tears went into it. So thank you to my beta readers and the friends and those who let me into their classrooms too, and all the children who gave me feedback on this book. And really, this is for you. I really hope that it inspires you too.
Absolutely. One final question, and this might be the most important one. Where can we buy your book?
Thanks, Natalie.
Natalie, thanks for that. I'm dropping a link in the comments so that you all can find it. We'll have to go back in on LinkedIn to add it. But if you are interested in finding all of the places that you can find the book so that you can choose where you buy it from. We know people are spending their money wisely and very resourcefully. So we have linked on our website, launchcrate.com/all the possibilities. You'll see different links where you can buy the book. You can buy it from Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and then there's also bookshop.org, which you can use to support some local bookstores that are in your specific area as well. So keep an eye out on launchcrate.com/all the possibilities. Make sure that you check out all the work that Dr. G is doing. I feel like this is the start of probably many more resources that'll be coming from
The
you.
Dr. G
The
series.
Dr. G series.
But Cynthia, I would like you to share more about Launch Crate too.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
Goodness.
please.
I was just gonna
No.
So what would you like me to share about Launch Crate?
I mean, Launch Crate is such an awesome, just the birth of Launch Crate,
Yeah.
the small business winner of Kansas City Chamber
Yeah.
business. So, and yeah, just a little bit about you.
A little bit about-
and Launch Crate.
Yeah, so Launch Crate was born of let me back up.
Yes.
The work that I was doing before Launch Crate was centered in equity.
Mhm.
So all of the work was in making sure that we could write systems that have kept others behind the loop, right? And then I took a leap of faith and left a college prep program. And there was a 5-month gap between when I left there and when I started working at the University of Missouri, Kansas City. And in that 5 months, I picked up quilting. I don't know how.
That's awesome.
But I did. And then I also wrote, illustrated, and published my first book. And the reason that I published it is because I had done a lot of research on self-publishing and the traditional publishing. And what I found were a lot of inequities in traditional publishing. And I kind of understood where they were coming from, but also I'm of the mindset that just because we've always done it this way doesn't mean that's how it has to be in the future, right? And so it just kind of was, we talked a little bit about planting seeds in this, and that was like a seed that got planted for me. So I went to work at UMKC during the day, and at night I was publishing more for me and then helping other people learn how to publish for themselves as well. And I had an amazing supervisor at UMKC that asked me when I was going to take a chance on myself. And what do you do when you're confronted with that, right? You either say now or you say never, right?
Yeah.
So I said now, and she actually worked with me as I was transitioning out of UMKC and figuring out what the business model should look like. And it was super important for me, if I was going to do this full time, that I make sure that authors and creatives are fairly compensated for their work. So in traditional publishing, if you receive 10% of the profit, that's considered pretty doggone good, right? For us, we're splitting the profit share 60-40, 60 to the creatives because it's your work that you are granting us the right to publish and help you get it out into the world, and 40% to us so that we can keep creating ripples of change and flipping the publishing industry on in. So that's a little bit about Launch Crate.
Yes.
Yeah.
Unique,
and so
awesome business.
With each book, we hope to spread more ripples of good and change throughout the world. So all of the possibilities definitely fits into the books that we love to traditionally publish. And we only publish about 5 traditionally throughout the year. We also offer publishing services where we're coaching people through the process themselves. But for the 5 that we get to choose, it's pretty competitive. So
thank you.
We make sure that everything aligns with our values and goals, and that's what we got here. So.
I'm honored.
We're honored. Thank you for entrusting us with this is your baby. The third one.
This is the third one, yes. It really is.
Yes, this is the third one. Also, Emily, thank you for putting that on LinkedIn for us.
Thank you, Emily.
We appreciate that.
Cynthia, your story is really inspiring. Thank you for sharing that.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
I said, you have to share this.
Well, see, today is about Dr. G and all the possibilities. And I usually just share that outside. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to do that. Dr. G, this has been the start of a great day.
Yes.
Launch day. You said you're going to mark this as an anniversary.
This is an anniversary date.
And rightfully so.
Yes, this is a child's birthday.
Absolutely. What are you going to do to celebrate today?
Oh my goodness. I'm actually have a very important meeting talking about increasing college and career opportunities in kindergarten through 8th grade for one of our school districts. So there's
The work continues.
The work continues.
Yeah.
Yes.
I love it. Well, now you have a resource that you can say,
Yeah. Yeah. Let me just slide that in there.
Right. Well, thank you all for tapping in, Sean, especially from Canada, and the work that you're doing as a superintendent now. Thank you for carving out some time to share with Dr. G on her launch date, the new anniversary date for her.
Oh, it was such a joy. Thank you. This really has been a career highlight for me. And so thank you for inviting me to share this moment with you. I just can't share how proud I am. And it's just so wonderful seeing this success.
Awesome.
Thank you, Sean.
And Beck, thank you, not just for joining us today, but for pouring your heart into the illustrations of this book. We can really see the care and attention to detail that you put into this. And that's what really helps to bring it to life. So thank you very much.
My pleasure. Thank you. It was an absolute delight.
Right. And Candace, thank you for being willing to step outside of your comfort zone. I work with a lot of authors, specifically through our Idea to Editor program. And one of the stats that I always tell them on the front end so that they can mentally prepare for the journey is that only 4% of manuscripts become a published book.
Wow.
Right. Right. So the fact that you have not only written it, but have also taken a step to bring it to life so that other people can read it and other people can glean from it, speaks to how important this was to you. And I appreciate more than you know you entrusting Launch Crate with the publishing of this book. And we're going to help to make sure that it gets in the hands of lots and lots of kiddos.
I'm going to go cry after this.
Okay.
That's what I'm going to do before my meeting. I'm going to go cry in the rain.
There you go. The rain.
Yeah, it's just the rain. Yeah, it's just rain.
Awesome. Well, I am super excited for where this book is going to go. You'll probably hear more from Dr. G soon. And those of you that tapped in on the live stream, thank you so much for sharing part of your day with us. You helped to make this launch party just that much more special.
Thank you.
And if you're watching it on the replay, still make sure that you drop a comment, because we come back and we check these and we reply to those as well. So that being said, any final words that you want to say before we head out?
Thank you all so much for listening to me and giving me the space.
And with that, we'll see you in the next one. Y'all have a good one.